got to check cows, check for newborns, refill some fly mops, catch some calves. A lot to do today, so let's get to work. Right at sundown, I found this cow off by herself, switching her tail, going up and down, licking at her belly. I think she's going to have a calf. And sure enough, the next morning, she's got a healthy black bull calf. Good job. Not too old, not even dried off yet. First week of August and the grass is still green. Almost unbelievable. And it's cooler than normal too, but we're actually getting to the point now we could use a rain, but we're not hurting yet. Any of these calves you see that don't have a tag in their ear, that means they came along after the cowboys were here and we ran everything through the chutes, but we'll get to them here one of these days. This morning, while it's cool, I'm going to call in this bunch of cows and calves into the corral so I can capture a neighbor's calf that got away from him a few days ago when he was gathering a bunch, came through the fence and joined in with my cows. He's a little bit goofy, but I think if I call everything into the corral, I can sort him off. The neighbor's wild steer needs a little bit of encouragement with me in the UTV, but luckily he goes in eventually. Our luck continues when he runs to the back of the corral as I'm sorting them off. Everything works pretty good. Got him. Here are the twins that were born in a previous video a couple of months ago. They're doing great. This is the calf that was born a week ago that had the bent ear, and it's straightened out perfectly now.
Oh yeah, that's what it's just gonna be.
Had to take a few minutes to tighten the loose mirror on my UTV.
Okay.
This 100-year-old barn down at the creek place is going to be a project here in a month or so. It has never been cleaned out since I bought the place 20 years ago. No telling what we'll find, but you'll get to watch as we do it. Had to take off one of the fly mops and replace it with a new one because it got worn to the point it wouldn't stay in place. This new one should do for the rest of the fly season. Most of the time, a mop on each mineral feeder lasts the entire summer, but once in a while they don't have to be replaced. It's always worth it though to keep the face flies off the cattle. I still have not had a single case of pink eye this summer, and that's almost unheard of, and I think it's due to these fly mops. My neighbor Gavin and his son Graydon came over to get the wayward steer that we captured earlier this morning. We'll try to get him loaded in the trailer.
I don't know what I think. Yeah. Let me back up just a little, push it in a little bit more. Watch that handle, don't let it hit it. And then bring that in just a little. There you go.
Without any other cattle around, the steer is just a little bit flighty, but that's pretty common when you separate them off and just have one by itself. You need some friends around. First time we've had any animals in the chute entrance since I hung the black mats according to Temple Grandin style, and it worked perfectly. He went right in.
Anyway, pretty sure he had a nylon necklace when he came to the house. And I thought, well, he'll be fine.
Got a boo-boo.
That's what we live on, right?
Once the calf's in the trailer and he realizes there's no escape, he calms down pretty decently. I like to make sure the cattle always have access to salt year-round, so I always keep a white salt block in one side of the mineral feeder.
Gotta go and check on that newborn.
And the 2-day-old newborn is doing fine. So is his mother. This is a hedge apple. Not good for much of anything that I know of. The hedge tree is, but the hedge apple is just a way for it to propagate. Choke a cow sometimes if they get a big one in their mouth and don't chew it first. You see that white secretion there? It's a really sticky latex that just gets all over you. Hedge trees, also known as Osage orange or even bodark, they make great fence posts because they're really resistant to rotting. It's one of the hardest woods that we have in this area. They also make good shelter belts in crop areas, and if you use them for firewood, they burn the hottest of any wood around. Years ago, I found a calf with his head stuck in this very knothole. He was almost dead when I found him, but that's yet another reason to check cattle every day. We saved him.
Well, that's all we got for today, so let's call it a day.
I know it's a weed, but all she sees is flowers.